Perfect. I just got to make sure to have a little Google, the Google ready on the exactly. You know what I'm saying? Get my Jamie on. You know what I'm saying? We out here trying to be as factual as possible. You know what I'm saying?
We have because of this most recent transformation of mine, I find I have many things to say, but less things to say. Mm-hmm. Like I'm because of this, even the words don't flow as well as they used to. But it's like I just know what it is. I mean, I know more. Right. And I find that before I'm speaking, I would do it before I'm taking more time to really feel what it is I want to communicate. Mm-hmm. Saying anything, so that I communicate it as best as I can. And with those little words.
Yeah, like communicating it with your emotions before you like communicate it with your nonverbal or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I'm right with you, man. Cause like I think that's so important, bro. It goes back, you know, you said something to where it was like, you know, it ain't about, you know, switching up or like being different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's just like about being that consistent you at all points, at all times. You know what I'm saying?
Rhythm. If you want to, is there anything you wanted to start with or you wanted to open up with? Not biased towards.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff we talk about, but I think the first and foremost, man, I gotta like I said, bro, this fear of vibration, but also what is our agenda? You know what I'm saying? As like a community, you know what I'm saying? What is
seal?
Like, bro, I'm glad you've heard of the Hopi prophecy, bro. You know about the Rainbow Warriors. I'm glad you're a star seed. I'm glad you're a light worker. I'm glad you're an empath. But it's like, what are we doing with it, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm glad you know the Hopi prophecy. Yes, Egypt is the headquarters. Blah 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 blah.
The pyramids, blah blah blah. Like
blah blah blah.
Bro, but like let's be real, bro. If we can be distracted by a bunch of milk crates for a whole week, bro, like we don't stand a chance. like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, that's honestly what's been on my mind. I'm like,
I be watching them shits. I'm not on Instagram as much as I used to be, but when I do come across a milk crate video,
like
with that nigga, I am Desi, he posted a video where his homie was in the casket with the milk crates next to him. He said, "Why'd you have to do the milk crate challenge, man? Why'd you have to do that?" His homie, that shit is funny. Yeah, hey, only on Earth.
only on Earth, bro.
Earth, like heart. Corazona. I think that's
Corazon.
Corazon. I think that's hard. Espiritu. Corazon. I think that's hard.
But that's the thing, bro. It's like if we distracted by every little trend, every little shit and remember you were making jokes about, oh, like this means something, bro. Now people are actually posting shit about, oh, this is a ritual, blah, blah. Bro, it's a trend, dude. It's a trend. It's another thing to like influence your mind and get you on their vibration. That's what all this shit is about, bro. It's the same shit as before.
I do wonder, however, if it really is organic. Because can somebody show me the first video? Like, what's the first video? Whenever it's like a more organic trend, we can all trace it back to that first video.
Yeah.
I don't I could be wrong, but I don't believe there's a first video. One day it just popped up. So
Yep.
I'm like, maybe the CIA did drop them crates off in the hood, you know? You know,
Maybe.
Where's everybody getting the crates from?
Where's Chris coming from? I mean, shit. Honestly, probably the local bodega down the street. Like,
Probably.
now they be stacking the motherfuckers up on the side of the building and shit. But my point with that, right, is to say, like, fam, I see, like, people still aren't understanding, like, the law of attraction. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, whatever you focus on is what you get. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why are people still like, we said this in lives like months ago now. You know what I'm saying? Why are we still focusing on the will of Rome instead of the will of what we want? Like, that's why I'm asking, like, what is our agenda? You know what I'm saying? Because if everybody's just trying to catch a wave and feel it some type of way, you know what I'm saying, and want to feel like they're a part of something, that's cool and all. I get that's part of the human experience, but it's like, we trying to be master manifestors out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I dropped like 50 pounds in the last month. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to really like manifest shit. Like, I ain't out here playing games. You know what I'm saying? I ain't out here jumping up milk crates. Like, you probably saw me post about nature the last few days because I look and everybody's posting about the same bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it comes to a point where it's like, you have to understand that you are still doing their work if you are talking about it. Just stop talking about it. Like, that's literally what it is. Just stop talking about it. Talk about what you want, not what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is what the New World Order is trying to do. Like, when you talk about that, you manifest what they want. You know what I'm saying? You're not actually exposing anything, because all you're doing is giving into what they want you to give into. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of a lot of these cats, if you there's what we call constants. You have variables and you have constants. You see constants within nature, like the principles by which everything is built off of. My logic and my thinking, for the most part, is centered around constants. So if I'm attempting to piece together the truth, I first start with a constant, not with a story. I take the story and I measure it to the constant. And if it don't line up, it's probably bullshit. So when I'm meeting one of these spiritu folk, espiritu, these jokers that Naki, jokers that love them, some Anunnaki shit, and then give me their stories of some Egypt. You know, I don't really argue with them no more. I don't try to debate them no more. I just be like, tell me your story. Tell me, what do you believe? Saber. What do you know? To know. And then I'll just ask them questions. Tell me about this. And if the answer they have to my question is just their story, it's probably bullshit. Mm-hmm. Not like another fact. But it's just like, well, no, this happened. I'm like, okay, yeah, but what about this? It's just like, well, this happened. I'm like, see, no, that's not answering. That's like saying, don't question God. It's still the same philosophy. When you were in church as a kid, and you're like, so how do you create light without stars? When you started asking, so when they put the animals on the boat, they didn't eat one another. As a kid, when you were 4, 5, and 6,
right,
asking very simple questions, your parents were like, blasphemy. That's the same thing they're doing now. When you ask, you just inquire about these Anunnaki creation stories. real honest questions, and jokers act like you're spitting in their face. Or they act like suddenly you're a coon.
They've tied their identity to that so hard. You know what I'm saying? That has become the story, right? Has become, right? It like it's the story. This goes back to like the original principalities of like what spiritualism is. You know what I'm saying? Is like, have you truly deprogrammed? You know what I'm saying? Are the thoughts that you hold yours, or these other thoughts that you've been given? Just because you resonate with something doesn't mean that it's correct. There's a lot of stuff that I resonated with in the last year, which has come out to be bullshit.
It's probably like, there were some principles or some truths rooted within it that you resonated with.
Absolutely.
Other things that were not the case.
The most simple aspect of whatever it was I resonated with might have been the truth, but like the whole story and construct built around it, which is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's so. I mean, that's honestly, man. Like, and I don't want to like spend time like talking negatively about folks.
I don't even think this is merely negative. It's just,
I just, it's like a reflection. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how I see this. Is like, because right, like looking at my own self, it's like, why have I had trouble meditating the last couple weeks? You know what I'm saying? Why have I had trouble, you know, like this week I've been very good about just like leaving the phone down or whatever, but like a couple weeks ago I was like looking at that shit all day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, we can still, right? We're still not immune from this shit. We're still influenced by everything, but it's just like about the power of the influence. You know what I'm saying? And like I think that's one of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm like breaking back away from the shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
programmer. If you're gonna cast a spell on yourself, if you're gonna be programmed with something, be programmed with something that benefits you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been spending a lot of time, maybe not a lot, but like learning Spanish, watching videos. I've been learning about car engines, mechanical car engines. I started looking at model engines. Just something else to do, you know? Just I'm gonna bullshit. Why not bullshit on something that is kind of useful, you know? Like, not just milk crate walking. And I'm not gonna say there's anything wrong with the milk crate walking, but we can't milk crate walk all day. You know, like even just I've just been if I'm going to allow myself to be distracted by something, I'll be distracted by something that benefits me. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Because at that point it's not a distraction. It's an addition.
Well, I'll be able to alchemize that distraction into an asset if I choose to.
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna alchemize the milk crate shit into? That's the type of bullshit that's just gonna be bullshit.
Right. It's here today, gone tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Trend hopping. I will say it's probably one of the more, I'm not gonna say creative, but interesting ones I've seen in a minute. Like, I didn't expect that one. I didn't expect it.
It is. It's pretty random. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, let's stack some milk crates up. And motherfuckers walk on like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like it is, but you're right. Like it is probably the most creative thing that I've seen in a while. Better than the dances where you see 10,000 people doing the same dance. You know what I'm saying?
If you pay attention, it almost seems like they're teasing the spiritual community. Like as soon as I saw that shit, I knew that was bait. And a lot of these jokers took the bait.
Bro.
Like I feel like it was bait.
that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's why I was saying, like, we don't stand a chance, dog, if this is like what distracts us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, not only are you taking the bait, you know what I'm saying, but like they're sitting there looking at motherfuckers like, what are these people doing? You know what I'm saying? They're literally laughing and being like, oh yeah, they're just like spreading the shit that we want them to spread. Like, haha, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they're doing this challenge. Yeah, this challenge is stupid. I don't know why they're doing it. Haha, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's why I'm like, yo, you know, speaking of assets, right? It's like, why aren't there more people talking about, you know, gaining assets, building programs, building um, our own schools, our own institutions, bro? Even if it's like out of somebody's house, you know what I'm saying? Like when I see stuff like the doulas, you know what I'm saying? I look at that and I'm like, yo, that's what we need to be on. You know what I'm saying? Like people like really building up stuff to um, pull away, right, from the system, right? So, right, why aren't we building more stuff like that? Like, where are the schools? Everybody's talking about, like, you love talking about how much people get manipulated by schools, yet you're not putting forth uh even a syllabus or a course. You know what I'm saying? Like, make a course. You
Or
know what I'm
saying,
saying?
or having a program where it's like I tell my younger siblings, I tell them learn something new every day. I say, you guys aren't doing shit. I have two younger hermanos, one hermana. And I tell them, it's funny how before they wouldn't listen to me a whole lot, but now that I'm not home anymore, when I talk now they listen. Because they were we take shit for granted. You take me for granted. You see me every day. Now you don't see me for a few months. If I speak, you listen. See what I mean? It's fascinating. But now all I have to do is say something and suddenly they're like, maybe I'll try it. If I just go, you guys learn something new every day. It doesn't have to be something big. Like you spend a lot of time bullshit. Let's be real. Like, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, just learn something. Just watch a video on something new. Something, just learn whatever it is. Like I told them, I started looking at car engines, motorcycle engines, how pistons work, understanding how all these, really a car engine, it's really just a diaphragm. It's a human diaphragm, understanding more that this technology is just built off of natural principalities, like the whole combustion energy model. And even if you can say, honestly, I don't really think there's anything wrong with burning fuel. I'm pretty sure you could tune a car to run off of alcohol or moonshine. That combustion
or
model,
water.
Yeah, or water. But that combustion model, I like it. It's cool. It's just cool. But it's like but really understanding that you don't have to be a genius to learn shit like this. If you're so many people are told that they're not smarter. They'll get intimidated by looking at the engine and all the parts and going, oh, that. But when you realize, listen, all these parts just have to work together to do one thing, which is help the car go forward. That's it.
Right.
Like, if you just go, okay, what is the one principle that this thing is using mainly to help it go forward? It's just using combustion or explosion. It's taking an explosion, converting it into mechanical perpetual motion via the what is it, like the crankshaft or some shit, because they have counterweights. So when there's an explosion, if the explosion pushes the piston down, it swings the counterweights. The counterweight pulls the piston back up, and it just keeps going, and it keeps that process going. And as you press on the gas pedal, more fuel is injected or whatever, and you go forward. And the more fuel you use, the faster you go. You know,
That's it.
That's it. Now, the details and everything else, this piece, you can learn that with time if you're just patient. You don't have to, if you spend enough time on anything, you'll learn it. So you can't tell me there's anything I can't learn if you just give me enough time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I was saying. My main point: learn something new every day. Learn. It's okay to, even if you're not using it right now, just learn it. You never know.
Absolutely. Like there's so much stuff that I learned 5, 10 years ago that I'm just now starting to put into practice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, my brother, right, who's your age, he's like in the computers and stuff, and he's been teaching himself how to code since like grade school. Like he was on this shit early. He like overstood that like every piece of information that you get is just a download, and it like stays in your memory bank. You know what I'm saying? He literally bought a bike, a motorcycle. He wasn't in working condition and just fixed it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't have any experience fixing bikes. He literally just hit me up a couple weeks ago and he was like, yo, what if we bought a bike and we fixed it this winter? And I was like, let's do it. I didn't even question it. I was like, bro, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go spend $500,000 on a bike, fix it, and we'll flip it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, not only has he done that before, but I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is part of my mission, right? It's like, how am I gonna help the youth, right? How am I gonna inspire people and empower people? That's one way to do it. You got a dream, you got an idea, that you've already accomplished. Like, shit, I'll help you buy the bike, bro. Like, I don't care what our parents talking about. I'll help you buy the bike. We'll find somewhere to store it. If they don't want to store it in their garage, guess what? I'll go rent out some garage space and we'll go put it in there and we'll go buy another bike and make it worth it. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to what you were saying with the, like, bro, everybody is a genius in my opinion. But bro, you can learn whatever you want. You just got to pick up the book.
What does that even mean, genius? This, as I've been evolving, certain words and principles like that don't really make sense to me anymore.
I mean, if you want to get into the etymology of it, genius, right, comes from genie, which comes from jinn, right, which is the spiritual, ethereal being, right? So basically, being a genius just means that you're connected with your higher self in a way. Is how I read it.
I thought it was like accessing genealogy, being able to access the Akasha, pull it forth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at these child virtuosos or whatever, and she's like, oh wow, she's very good at playing the piano at 5. I'm like, well, that's because she's been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably what she's, most definitely that's what she's been spending a whole lot of time doing. So that's what's in the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what's up, people? We kind of just
what's up? Yeah, that was, I don't know what that was, but it felt, I don't know, it felt good. I feel like we just need to get something off our chest.
That was a good warm up. It was kind of, it was a good warm up. We kind of just started talking. We didn't say hey to nobody. Nobody's really seen us like that. Maybe people have kind of heard from me, seen me a little bit, but not like what they used to see me.
Mm-hmm. I think one thing we need to do is really, we need to get, because you were talking about, the Cherubim Arts and getting that group together. We need to, everybody who's been just keeping up with everything, watching the podcast, Cherubim Arts, we need to have a meeting of the minds, you know what I'm saying, to get everybody involved and just see what everybody's up to. Because I feel like people are doing some shit, you know what I'm saying? And I would love, and I understand that everybody doesn't want to advertise their moves in like a public atmosphere. So like if we could do it in a small group, I think it would be beneficial just for inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Because something that was actually on my mind is like, you know, I always go back to this credit thing, right?
One moment.
Go ahead. No.
I wanted to show the people.
Yeah.
Uno momento.
Now somebody could be like, you using those corporate products, bro?
Okay.
I'm just playing.
Are you able to see it very well?
Is it raining?
Yeah, but you see how when it rains here, it's like a different type of rain here.
Mhm.
Like, damn, you might not be able to see it very well. That's a shame. When it rains here, it pours. It ain't no in between.
Mhm.
It's like whenever because it just looks really nice. Like it's like when it rains here, it's a what is it? A duche. Yeah, it's a shower. All right. But oh shit. Ooh, what the fuck? Oh, that smoke just hit me right up the nose, bro.
Oh man.
Oh, we're gonna have to edit that out. Oh shit.
Just let it be, bro. Let it be. Take a sip of water. Take a sip of water.
Does that
Splash some water in your face real quick. You'll be all right.
Woo! No, this shit woke me up. Woo!
I know you went on another level after that.
that shit woke me up. Woo. Oh god damn. Okay.
Like Will Smith and
I forgot what we were.
Men in Black going through the tunnel. You went, oh.
Boy, you okay? I don't know if I don't know nothing. Yo, you gonna have to pick it up. Start talking. Give me a second.
Absolutely, man.
Oh.
Look, the point I was gonna make is like, look, y'all, there's so much access that you have to money out here, right? That is just so, I don't want to say it's so easy to do what you want to do, but it's like, you know, once you get to like a 680 credit score, for example, bro, you're gonna see people throwing money at you in the mail. You know what I'm saying? And when you get the business credit up, right, that's the process that I'm in right now. You know, that stuff doesn't get attached to you personally. But you know, the point of that is to say, like, everybody's on their path, but it's like, if you want to really get out of the situation that you're in, you know what I'm saying? If you're in a bad situation, or even if you just want to improve your situation, right? Like if you're renting, like that's one of the things I'm doing, right? Like I rent, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm like, you know what? I got enough money to go buy an investment property back in my home. You know what I'm saying? Start helping out my community. So that's what I'm going to go do. You know what I'm saying? And I can make that happen right now just through access to credit. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to save shit up. Like I could just go get it. Like there's banks and lenders who are willing to give it to me. And it's going to be a cash flowing asset for me. Therefore, you know, the debt that I have on it, you know what I'm saying, is going to pay for itself. And like, that's just how we need to start thinking. We really need to start, you know, shifting our mindsets and moving away from this paradigm of having to be controlled or having to be subservient to some system. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be subservient to the system, or the system can be subservient to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that these rich mofos, which a lot of them are spiritual too. You know what I'm saying? These rich mofos, they're just, the system is their slave, straight up. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way that we need to start flipping and looking at this shit. Because I want to start seeing some shit happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking around, I'm seeing 10 acres of land, you know what I'm saying? That
$20 acre.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, like
$20.
If you, bro, there's literally land auctions that you can buy land for $1.
Oh yeah,
It's like $400 for the state licensing fee, but it's like 5 acres or 10 acres in Georgia or some shit like that. And I'm not saying you have to go do that, but if you did want to do that, all you got to do is grab you a nice ass RV or some container homes or some shit like that and put it on there. And now you got all the amenities that you had before. You know what I'm saying?
Container homes, low key, a little scammy. I'm not saying don't do it, but I've been kind of looking at them, like the amount of like how you. I'm like, shit, you might as well just build the frame yourself. I mean, but the amount of work that they do on some of the containers, the purpose of the like people try. The purpose of the container is more so for the recycling aspect, rather
It's
than
a shell.
rather than saving money, because the amount of work that you really do I'm like, you probably could have just built a shitty wooden frame that like most homes are built out of. That's another fucking thing the boys been learning about. The boys been learning about masonry, real masonry, brickwork, stonework, how homes used to be. Stone homes and brick homes and shit last. The Three Little Pigs story, they last for hundreds of years. These wooden homes, shit. These newer wooden homes, especially in America, tend to be garbage. Don't even get me started about the homes in Japan. Them shits are made to break. Quite literally, it's just common. It's just common knowledge. Your home will break. Why do you think there's no reason for earthquakes to do that much damage? It just, when you really think about it, everybody's house is gone. I'm like, you know what? Why we keep making our houses out of twigs? Just build a stone home. Just put in a bit more time and build a brick home, which will look nice, and they'll last longer. But see, the system isn't built off of shit not breaking. In order for the system to survive, it has to be fragile, or it doesn't work. Fragile is not a real word. If you've ever seen A Christmas Story, when the dad in A Christmas Story gets his package that he won in a competition, the leg lamp, he reads the cover on the package on the wooden crate. It says fragile, but he says, "Ooh, fragile must be French." And then his wife is like, "I think it's fragile, dear." And he's like, it's just one of the key moments, other than you'll shoot your eye out in that movie. I know many of us have seen that movie, A Christmas Story, but whatever. My point being, wait, what was my point with that?
You're talking about why don't the Japanese just build stone homes? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Learning about brickwork and masonry, and why did I bring up the brickwork and the masonry? What did you say before?
Really, I wanna just piggyback off what you're saying. The whole fragile aspect is actually very new, because if you think about it, the homes from like the 50s and the 40s and the 30s and the 20s are the ones that still be standing. You know what I'm saying?
Philadelphia State Hall was built in 400 XX BC. That shit is, the Philadelphia State Hall is like, I'm sure that shit is like 20,000 years old. You know,
absolutely.
Still there. A lot of these banks, cathedrals, like this shit's been there.
Still standing.
When you're walking around, people don't realize that
without a chip on it.
When you're walking around, you're witnessing the golden age every day. You see remnants of it. I was watching Narcos, and the Colombian city hall that Pablo Escobar hit up back in the day, with where they were filming and what they were standing outside of. I was looking at the quote unquote Roman architecture. It had the eagle and the lions and everything and the pillars. I'm looking at that shit. I'm like, that shit is nice. I'm like, y'all didn't build that shit. Like at this point, it's like you didn't build that. I'm just looking at it. Like your ass did not build that. Like it's just, it even has the date when it's erected on it. XXIIX. I'm like, what's that? What date is that?
What is that?
What date is that? But yeah, the fragile. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I still want to know what you were talking about with the stone,
Oh
architecture.
yeah. What did you say? I had a point to, but what did you say before that made me start?
It was the container homes.
Container. There we go. Speaking about container homes and how the shit is a little scammy, because if you think about the amount, I'm not saying don't do that. If that's what you want to do it. Just, I guess there's no constant here. But from what I've been observing, it's like the whole marketing scheme around it was that you save money. But then when looking at the amount of work they put in to actually make it livable and comfortable, I'm like, you might as well have just built the frame yourself.
Facts.
And you could have built the frame yourself and get the exact dimensions you want. It seems like a trend.
Yeah. I mean, bro, you could buy it. If you think about it, you could just buy an RV. It's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a big ass.
It's already done.
And it's already done. And it's like, it's 12 grand all in. And it's the same size. It's got toilets. It's got an oven. It's got all the shit. You don't have to do anything. Definitely nicer. And it go ahead. Some dope ass RVs. Is that what you're about to say?
I'm looking at some of these dope ass RVs. I'm like, yo,
that shit's nice, bro.
That shit is nicer than a New York City apartment.
Way nicer than a New York City, bro. Like, as somebody that lived in a New York City apartment, like that shit be nicer, because then you could put it on a nice ass piece of land too. You know what I'm saying? And really be like zen out. You know what I'm saying? As my man Big Sean said, zen the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be master manifesting up, and see, that's what honestly, bro. And I'm doing this right now because like this is where my mind has been going. I'm like, bro, I can do this investment property shit, but I might just buy a fucking plot of land somewhere and get a trailer, and like that's what I live on. You know what I'm saying? And still rent the shit out and just make money. Cause like I'm like, let me just do it for fucking, honestly, if I do it for a year, it'll basically pay for itself for what I'll save. You know what I'm saying? And like rent. And I'm just like, why don't I just do this and just like live in nature and just like chill and just see how it goes?
I always tell people, not always. What else do you have to do? I mean, why couldn't you do it? Why couldn't you do
it? There's no real reason outside of what I would call, right, systematic responsibilities to the system. You know what I'm saying?
Or look to other people. Telling other people, oh yeah, I live on this RV right here.
True, the stigma.
If you tell anybody, if somebody came to me and just said, oh yeah, I'm renting out this RV stacking some change, I'd be like, smart ass motherfucker. You're not trying to play the house debt game, the mortgage game. You're not trying to pay, because guess what? That dude, depending on his situation, he probably has more liquid cash available than the person in the house.
Facts.
It's just like, yeah, I have a 6-figure job. I'm like, well, you have a 6-figure job, but you don't have 6-figure profit. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that, and let's be real, if your mortgage is like $3,000 or so because you're trying to play that keep up with the Joneses game.
That's an expensive ass mortgage, bro.
Yeah, that is an expensive ass mortgage. But I've heard, depending on where you are, that's normal. If you out in California, that might be cheap. You had some joker said I was paying for a 2-bedroom and it was $3,000 a month. I was like, what? Or like it's like, why are you still there? Why if you're
because of the job, blah, blah, blah.
No, but I'm like, no, but if you're making enough to barely pay $3,000 a month, that means that you can make enough to pay $1,000 or so somewhere else and be comfortable for the most part, float. So I'm like, why are you still? Because people don't think like that. They don't. Oh, I don't know anybody there, or except. But I'm like, that is an expensive ass mortgage. But like, let's be real. Most people, I'm sure there are a lot of people that are paying that type of shit. Like, they're just they don't think that there's any other option because they think their life is supposed to look this way.
And you're from the DMV area. How close are you to actual like DC? Or like
DMV
were you?
Area? Oh, where I was in Bowie, so DC.
Were you in the DMV area?
Yeah, I was in Maryland.
Okay.
It's DMV.
Okay. No, I'm just making sure. No, because like I know that there's like the like really tri-state part where everything's super close, and then you got like the outskirts, right?
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Now I know what you're talking about. Because if you live in like Frederick or like shit, there are places in Maryland that still I didn't know was a thing. And when I heard about it, I was like there was major Chinese communities in Maryland. I was like, what? Like I just driving down old Upper Marlboro, I believe it was, and then you get to a point where all the signs start being in Chinese. I don't know if it was old Upper Marlboro, but it was someplace we were driving. There were some back roads or whatever. There's Chinese signs and there was a church and this. And I'm like, where? They've been hiding. These jokers been here. They've been invaded. What they talking? These jokers talking. People talking about China's gonna invade. I was like, nigga, these niggas been here 10 toes down. They own all this shit.
They've been chill. Like, bro,
that sign says ni hao, not hello. Like, what the fuck?
Their grandkids are your doctor, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, I'm like, look at these houses. These niggas undercover, not even. They've been here. What you niggas and shit. And in the DMV, I'd always hit the carry out. Every carry out was owned by a Chinese crew. Like you had the carry out, then you had the hair store right here, and then you had the liquor store.
Damn, now I want some fried rice, motherfucker.
So it's just like you could get but you know what's so crazy? It wasn't even, they were selling burgers and shit. So it's just like you could get Chinese food, but they had basically anything American you could get. Yeah. And your boy was fucking up some orange chicken.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get me started. Oh, I loved orange chicken. Woo! Be like, Saturn, listen, if I didn't value my soul and my spirit above all else, I'd still be fucking up the orange. No, I wouldn't, because I'd have mucus issues. My face, if I could fuck up the orange chicken and not swell up, then I'd be fucking it up. Don't get it twisted. I'm still spiritually and consciously whatever, but if I could get away with it, I just ride this bitch out, be deceased, and go on to the next thing. I'm not attached to this shit.
Have a couple of cheat days, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, really. I would go 6 days, no meat. 7th day, we getting 3 orders of orange chicken. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like I just, there's some shit that I'm just over. I'm just over the religious aspect of you must be vegan, you must be. I'm over it. If somebody were to tell me, oh man, I relapsed, I had meat the other day, I'd be like, was it good? What you have? Tell me about it.
Yeah,
shit.
Bro, at the end of the day, enjoy yourself.
Sometimes, sometimes I'm just like, fuck, I don't feel like cooking. There's a fried chicken place down the street. God damn, and that shit smell like they got Creole. It's Louisiana, goddamn. But I don't get it.
Yeah, like I know jambalaya and shit.
Yeah, jambalaya. I be like, goddamn, I should be looking. But no, I still don't. The reason I won't get it though is because I know what it's gonna do to me afterwards. In the moment, that shit's gonna be slapping. Right. But I'm gonna pay for it the next 5 days. That shit, it's not the risk and return. I look at it like an investment. It's not worth it. It's not a good investment. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't look
exactly.
at it as in like
yo.
I get it. Yeah, and the animals, they abuse the animals. Some of the meat ain't real. It's just not a good long-term investment.
That's how you gotta look at everything. Everything's an investment, yo. Like every little thing that you do is like an investment. You know what I'm saying? Like the food that you eat, how is that gonna make you feel tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Me picking
And
out
it's a
my
trickle
hair.
down effect. It's a trickle down effect. You eat that food, you're not good. Then I won't be able to manifest my money the way I want to.
Exactly.
Or
It's gonna throw. I'm gonna be all sluggish. I can't like do what I was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? All that shit, bro. Damn, that was deep. That was deep. You just tapped into something right there. That goes back to what we talked about last time with the whole with the different currencies. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
Like everything's an investment, everything's a currency. You know what I'm saying? And
because it's
depending
energy.
on energy, everything's energy.
Energy.
And that here, you got to
Energía.
utilize that and that here, yeah, and that here,
Is it that?
and that here. Yeah, bro. I took 4 years of Spanish, bro.
What does that translate to?
That's energy. Energía. Energía.
Oh, because it's GI. Oh, I forgot. GI is H. It's not just GE. Energía. It's not energia.
Yeah, and there's an accent over the I.
Energía.
Energía.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. GI. I was just thinking just GE is H, but GI is also the H or whatever.
Yeah.
Energía.
And J is also H as well. But
it's not as fun to say though. Energía. Energía.
Energía.
It's not as
utilizar tu energía. Yo, so back to what I was saying. The point of me saying the whole thing about you being from the DMV is a lot of people, 80%, latest census just came out, right? Once again, tapping into the facts. The census, however much you believe of that shit, 80% of people live in the city. I believe that fact. And most people don't understand that there are cheaper places that have every single thing that your city has. You know what I'm saying? Like Cincinnati, I say Cincinnati because I'm from there, but it's a perfect middle ground because if you want to go do some country shit, I can drive 30 minutes and go do some country shit, but I can also go to the casino. You know what I'm saying? I could go out have a night on the bar at the bars. You know what I'm saying? Hit multiple strips of bars and
you different.
I'm more of a blackjack dude.
Blackjack. When I come see you, we gotta hit the casino.
Yeah, we'll hit the casino, bro. Trust me, that it's gonna come.
We gotta go
bro.
Manifest. We gotta go do a few rituals.
Yeah, bro. Yo, I'm down. I'm down. Let's get it, bro. I'm down. It's
gonna be dark and shit. Like, under the Aquarius moon and shit.
The storm's gonna come out and shit. Niggas gonna be like, yo, what's happening? Everybody's gonna like leave the casino type shit. Everybody leaves and then we walk in. You know what I'm saying? On some boss shit, some fucking Ocean's 11 shit.
Yeah. We're gonna need one more. We gotta do it in threes. We're gonna need one more then.
Yeah, we need one more.
Well, it's gotta be a woman. She's gotta be the distractor. Oh no, I don't know how to play this game. Oh, I'm so bad. They'll be like, the deck is hot.
Bruh. But yo, I'm down. But yo, my point is like, yo, there's literally umpteen cities, you know, small cities that you can tap into, you know what I'm saying? Get cheap property, live a great life, have all the amenities, but most people don't know about them because they're either, I mean, I'm in Chicago right now, before I was in New York, but being in Chicago and New York, I realized how much motherfuckers don't know about anything else. Because when they visit other places, all they do is visit other big cities, you know what I'm saying? And the occasional lake house, you know what I'm saying? In which case, then you're in some small township, but it's like, you can go to a place that's literally a hybrid of all that shit. It's like a motherfucking lake town, it's a city, it's everything. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta look for it. And you just gotta go, you ain't even gotta look for it. It's not that hard. Michigan is a beautiful place and they're giving away fucking cheap ass land. You know what I'm saying? Because they need more people. You know what I'm saying? All these places are giving away cheap land. And with this COVID shit, everybody's moving in from the coast right now. They're trying real, you see it you don't watch the news, but you see it. They're trying so hard to hold on to this whole like city lifestyle, but bro, that shit's gonna have to die. I'm gonna be real, because it's not all that sweet, yo. It's really not all that sweet. Niggas is out here struggling, eating Uber Eats and fucking breathing in shitty air. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know nothing else.
Yeah. Even if I think about it, I've been chefing up my food pretty well. Anytime if I order pasta, carry out, it's not as good as if I just make it at home.
Yeah.
But I was just being lazy. But like I actually like I don't just boil my noodles. Like I boil my noodles, but then I'll saute them afterwards and like season and shit before I season the noodles. We're not just gonna eat noodle with sauce. Like, I put some cayenne on this shit, like, but it tastes better. And I'm like,
putting love in that shit too.
Yeah, you know, alchemizing. Really, it's dead energy in the food when you order it out, type shit. But
that's why grandma's cooking be so good.
Oh yeah.
And then auntie makes that shit, and you're like, why don't this taste the same? Because auntie ain't putting that same love in there. Auntie did this shit because she had to, because she's the only one that knows the recipe. Grandma did it because that shit was, she loved it.
She loved it. Okay, nice. But there is something, the main thing, I have a main thing I really wanted to.
I'm listening to you, but I'm gonna go off screen for a little bit. Okay,
there's a main thing that I wanted to speak on as far as what it is I've been experiencing as of late. And one, recognizing that my most powerful, all of my manifestations, the quote unquote barrier between me and my manifestations is the biggest lesson in my life right now. Which is like, okay, in order for me to attract XYZ, there's a certain part of my behavioral patterns that needs to be taken care of in order for me to get to this, from this point to the next point. And a part of this transformational process is me removing that resistance, if that makes sense. And the biggest one for me is trusting even further, not just trusting my sense of knowing, my ability to know, but actively exercising my ability to know. If you get what I mean. Like, it's like I don't know what I need to do. But more often than not, see that I've noticed that in order for me to receive my manifestations, I really don't have to do much. I just have to stick my hand out and just leave it there, and it'll fall right into my hand.
Right.
But say it's being dropped, and I know it's being dropped right into my hand, but then as I see it dropping, I start to think, well, maybe it's going to be a little to the right. Maybe it's going to be a little to the left. Maybe I need to put my hand up and catch it sooner. Maybe I need to do this. And then I end up not catching the shit. Because I just want to be in that full magnetic mode, full on magnetism, not judging my opportunities that are attractive. Like, well, what I find is that I'll see an opportunity coming and I'll overuse my physical eyes. And I'm making my decisions based off of my physical eyes. And we end up thinking, what happens is I'm a thinker. So I'll think up some shit that's really not happening. And then, but because I'm a rational thinker, I'll think up something that does make sense, but it's not relevant per se to what it is that's it's happening. But I convince myself that this is about to happen this way. This is why. This is what happened. Boom, boom, boom. I know everything. Let's get it cracking. Bam, missed opportunity. And it's like, Espiritu is just like, yo, if you just would have did nothing, nigga, that shit would have just worked out. But can you trust in the law of attraction? Can you trust in your manifestational magnetism enough and know that everything is just like the resources are just being piled in front of you? You don't have to do what it is you think you need to do. See, but you think because you so badly want this to work or whatever, you think you have to force or do something for it to work. It's just like, okay, I need to do this. I gotta. It was just like, no, just you are the reason why this shit is coming your way. You've already done everything it is you need to do. You just need to let it plop in your head. You just need to receive. Just receive. That's it. It's funny how the only reason I've come to Louisiana, New Orleans, Metairie. I'm in Metairie right now. I've only really left this bitch once or twice. I have spent the past maybe 2 months or so that I've been here. Don't ask me about no time. Mainly, I've been in my room. And I haven't thought much of it. Somebody will ask me, well, why did you go here? Why did you come here? And I'm like, I just came here because I felt called to come here. The other day, don't be grossed out with this. Like, I'll see some cockroaches every now and then in this bitch. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of used to seeing the shit, so I don't be tripping. You know what I mean? Like, they can't do nothing. It's just people it's just nature. I mean, they got to be somewhere. Shit.
Melanated folks seen plenty of cockroaches, bro.
Yeah, and the thing is, the bugs, when you realize the bugs are just attracted to certain energies, there's a 5G tower right there. I'm not surprised there's a lot of cockroaches and shit. It just seems like they like that frequency. I mean, they have antennas that they operate off of that frequency. So, but the other day I saw something very fascinating. I looked at on the top of my fridge, I watched a cockroach shed. Like I looked at the cockroach, nothing, it was just a normal cucaracha. You know how you'll hear the voice because you see a bug, smack the fuck out that bitch.
Yeah, of course.
But I was just like,
get the slipper.
Why? Yeah, but I was just like, but why? You know what I mean? Why? I mean, like, nah, just not doing nothing. So I just go about my business and I come back and I see a white cockroach. But then I see a brown cockroach on its back, not moving. And I stared for as soon as I pay attention. And I look, I've never seen a white cockroach before. So I was like, whoa, what is this? Is this a female? Yeah. Like, what is this? And then I realized, I'm like, because you just shed that because you've grown, you've gotten bigger, so that no longer fits you. So you shed that exoskeleton. So that the new one, and I just watched. And it just walked away, left the old shell behind, went about its business all white and shit. And something was like, there it is, man. Like it clicked for me. It's just like, why'd you come here? I came here because I had to be here in order to shed this exoskeleton. And when I leave this bitch, this room, this hotel, this situation, this represents me leaving behind that old shell and me taking on my new shell, my new exoskeleton. So that's when it really clicked for me to go, stop, don't trip, don't freak out about nothing, banks, this, that, and four. Just be rooted in the moment and allow yourself to shed that exoskeleton, regardless of whatever situation it is. Like, don't even really judge the situation. Just go, this is a transmutational process taking place. So be rooted in the process so that you can get out of it what it is you need to get out of it so you can break through that exoskeleton.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? Who knows how
Yep.
long it took for that cockroach to get out that shit?
True.
But I'm sure the cockroach had to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
See how there's lessons. That was my soul. That was my higher self sending me that message. But I just had to pay attention. I had to go, okay, cool. All right, cool. Everything is happening the way it's supposed to. Am I just paying attention? Am I in the moment? Another big thing I posted about this the other day. Paying attention to how my day feels and not necessarily what it looks like. Because it's feeling good is heavily attached to rhythm. And I find that having a good rhythm throughout the day topples everything. Even when I speak now, I'll take breaks, mental breaks, like short, quick 15-second meditations to just bring myself back to center point. Because momentum is everything. And if we leave our momentum unchecked, we'll spiral into something that we didn't necessarily wish to spiral into. And now we're like, how did I end up here? She's like, well, you weren't being mindful of your momentum.
Right.
And when you're overrunning your mouth and talking and you're not taking pauses, you just, let's be real, when we talk, we'll just get from here and then we'll go here and then here and then you're somewhere, you don't even know where the fuck you were and you're lost. You gotta make your way back.
All types of tangents. Yep.
So I'm just like, even I feel better energetically if I just go. Even if I'm doing something, if I'm washing the dishes, let me just take 15 seconds right quick. Let me just come back, chill. And it's easier to pivot because when you come back, when you do that 15 seconds or whatever, that's a pivot point. That's the potential state. So you can go, okay, now I want to take my day in this direction. Now I want to take myself in this direction. But it's harder. You can't drive the car. You can't, if you're going full speed downhill, don't try to turn right.
Right.
You're gonna flip the car.
Right.
You're gonna flip the car. But what happens when you brake and you come to a stop? Okay, now I can go this way. Test my theory and see what happens. Try to go down that hill and try to turn right.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you, motherfucker. I ain't been there because I'm a safe driver, but that was, first of all, Shay. You see, I had to light the sage while you were saying that because that shit was poetic, dog. That was absolutely poetic. And it all goes back to the point, right, of, I say a lot of shit about, people doing this and seeing this on social media, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, at the end of the day, everybody is on their own path. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I know that a lot of people who may, right, like me, right, all the eating I was doing, toxic behaviors, right? I'm now shedding that. You know what I'm saying? I'm 20, forget how old I was. I'm 27. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it took me 27 years to really like start getting on my health journey, even though I knew for years that I should have been. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're so right. Everything is already happening and at the pace that it needs to happen. I had a similar experience where I was speaking to my cousin I think I told you about my cousin and like some of the business shit that I was doing and how he's going to help me with it. But he probably like I gave him like an assignment, right? Just to like research some shit and get his mind in a proper place. And I didn't hear from him for 3 weeks, right? And then he hits me up and he's like, yo, we gotta get on this, bro. I'm behind, bro. I'm behind. Like, you know, you gotta help me. You gotta help me catch up, blah, blah, blah. I was like, bro, I was like, everything is where it needs to be. I literally told him that. He's like, no, it's not because blah, 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 this and that, you know. And I was like, bro, look, you're trying to catch up to 6-7 years of experience that I've had, bro. Like, I don't know what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't give you, right? You can't go get a college degree in 2 months, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody advertises that to you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm like, yo, I went and I did this work. And then, but what I found was, right, the reason he was rushing, right, is because he thought that I had gotten, like of my family, my part of the family is like one of the parts that does really well, right? So he thought that my mom had like bankrolled me, you know what I'm saying? That I had all these resources that I was tapping into, you know what I'm saying? That I had like certain shit lined up for me. And I had to tell him, I was like, bro, when I started learning this shit, I moved to New York with $200, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was
Ooh,
eating.
tell this story. Tell that now.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Keep going,
bro. All right, so this is I knew this is I'm a big storyteller, obviously. Look, I moved to New York originally, wanted to do music. I was a DJ in college, had an opportunity to go do some audio engineering at this production facility, which didn't work out. And bro, I was living in Chinatown in an apartment with, it was me and my girl in one room. Then there was 8 other rooms in that motherfucker, and it was 10 people. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, literally some reality TV show. I swear, like in 5-10 years, bro, I'm gonna see myself on TV, and they're gonna be like, yeah, we were recording that shit the whole time. Bro, me and my boys, everybody's broke, right? Nobody's really doing that well. Everybody's like 22, 23, you know what I'm saying? Just starting out their careers. Your boy's eating motherfucking 75-cent pork buns. There's a store right, like as soon as you go down, because I was in the heart of Chinatown, in the heart of motherfucking Chinatown, like all Chinese people. Like I'm one of the, like, people knew me because I was like a black dude walking around in Chinatown.
you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker.
Ni hao. But it was cool. Like even the cops and shit, because I lived, like our stuff thing was right next to the cops. The cops loved me, bro. Like, because I was just like always fucking jolly. But the point is, right, eating these motherfucking pork buns, paying for them with literal change, bro, quarters. You know what I'm saying? End up, you know, trying to find a job for like a month. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like on Instagram trying to like be like, okay, like what can I do? Like trap some fucking social media shit, trying to like make some big deal happen, right? That shit ain't happen. You know what I'm saying? I had to go get a fucking shitty job making 800 to 1,000 cold calls every single day. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers hanging up on you. I got literally 10 seconds to like give my elevator pitch and like try to convince them and all this shit, bro. Motherfuckers in New York are paying me $300 a week, bro. $300 a week. And if you know New York, bro, god damn, the room that me and my girl were renting, I think was $1,300. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
a room in the middle of Chinatown, 10 other people in that bitch, 8 rooms, and they were charging you
$1,300. And that was the cheapest, that's the cheapest fucking
room
rent you will find in Manhattan ever. It's the cheapest. Hands down. One room.
I felt that.
I know you felt that, bro. That shit was, bro. And then imagine,
no bueno,
bro. And imagine 10 motherfuckers like trying to bro, it was so because it was like French. We had like 3, 4 French motherfuckers up in there. You know what I'm saying? Then we had the American motherfuckers. We had a Greek motherfucker. Bro, this shit was. You want to talk about a melting pot? That shit was a
It's a
melting
fucking embassy.
pot. It's a bro. You had cultural exchange, bro. I had so many deep talks with all of those people, and like looking back on it, right at the time, I was like, this is shit. But like looking back on it, I can appreciate it for what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized that without that experience, I wouldn't be where I am today. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was going through that shit, I was like, I ain't never coming back here again. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't fucking with you. I ain't never coming back here. And if I hadn't hit that point, like where I was in there, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? Who knows where? I mean, look, I'd always be good. You know what I'm saying? I got too many things working for me. You know what I'm saying? But without that experience, you know what I'm saying? I would not have been able to see the growth that I saw, you know, over the last 6 years. Because that was 6 years ago now at this point, you know, and it's like the moral of the story, right, is like going back to my cousin, is he's trying to rush me on all this. And I'm like, bro, you don't realize that A, I've already given you the blueprint, but B, this shit took 6 years to build. You know what I'm saying? It took struggle. It took being shit on. It took, you know what I'm saying? Let's be real, some like plenty of like, it wasn't like overt racism shit, but like shit where motherfuckers just like look over you, pass over you, don't think you're serious enough. You know what I'm saying? At one point at one of my companies, they wouldn't promote me to a manager, but every single manager and director, if somebody wasn't doing well, right, would refer those people over to me and be like, just talk to Ish. If they talk to Ish, they'll be fine. Like that's, I'm like, nigga, make me a fucking manager. How you got me doing this shit for free? You know what I'm saying? It's cool when I'm doing it for free, but you can't make me a manager because there's something there that you can't, you don't trust, right? But you know, after going through all this shit, what I've come to realize, man, is that A, you know, you can't rush shit. You got to keep it simple. And you got to stay consistent. Had I not stayed consistent, had I given up, you know how many times I was like, yo, I'm gonna just move back home. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna move back home. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finished college, blah, 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 this and that. Like, what am I gonna do? Should I go back to school? But you know what I'm saying? All this shit running through your head. And then I was just like, at one point, I was just like, fuck it. Like, let's just see what happens. I'm just fucking grind this shit out.
What's interesting is that when you're hip to the law of attraction, I'm not gonna say you omit a lot of that shit, but it doesn't go down the same way. Because imagine if you were in the mindset of beforehand, you're just like, you know what? It doesn't look the way I want it to look. But what if it looks the way it's supposed to look? So let me be present in this moment and really embrace this.
Mm-hmm.
And just feel good regardless. Imagine how, I know the experience was what it was and is good now, but imagine how much more fruitful it probably would have been.
Mm-hmm.
Should have,
You told, and what I love about you saying that, bro, is I remember probably 3 years ago, because you know The Secret, right? Like The Secret, which is the law of attraction, ask the universe for what you want. I remember seeing like it's like somebody put me onto that, and they was like, "This is a secret," and then I was like, I read this, and I was like, "Wait a minute, I've done this before." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Wait, that's all it." So before, like years before, I truly would say that I was spiritual. I would always say that I was more spiritual. Like I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. I was already tapped into the law of attraction. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the last 3 years, you know what I'm saying, that I was in New York especially, were probably the easiest and the best years because, to your point, I stopped being like, oh, what about this? What about this? Worrying about shit. And I was like, bro, I'm already here. You know what I'm saying? I was like, let me be consistent. Let me trust in the universe.
A few days ago,
never deliver.
I was in meditation. I've integrated more with my subconscious and my conscious. So there's really no separation between the two anymore. It's interesting that as I look at the physical realm, I also see my subconscious mind. I can feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to operate differently. There are new quote unquote parts of me that I'm witnessing, that I'm interacting with. So I have to, it's almost like when you get put in a new body, it's just like, you gotta break it in. You gotta figure out what works, what doesn't work, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. But I opened my eyes because I was thinking about some money. And I wasn't thinking about it like obsessing, but thinking about it like, what is this shit? And then I realized, it's like, wait, if somebody slapped $10,000 in my hand, cash right now, would I be ecstatic? And I came to the conclusion, I was like, no. And I had to ask myself why. Like, because that's just my energy. It's mine. Like, if I had $10,000, right? I'm like, that's just it was already there.
Mm-hmm.
You just see it. That's the creepy thing about this. I realized, wait, I'm just seeing it with my physical eyes, but it's already fucking there. But you'll trip out if you don't see it with your physical eyes. It's already have. So I am literally a billionaire. Trillion numbers are infinite. I'm a trillionaire. How much of that energy do I feel like crystallizing?
Mm-hmm.
How much of it do I want to do this? And it's like, dude, if you just slow down, chill out, and you're in your rhythm, you will see abundance like you've never seen before. See, because you're already abundant. But to see it, I already feel abundant. But to witness abundance, but everything else has to be in alignment for you to witness it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how manifestation works. You feel it, you know, then you feel, then you witness. Because the witnessing is a product of the knowing and the feeling. Mm-hmm. So what's interesting is that our audience, the people that watch us, the people that know us, you are going to be able to witness me go through an extreme quote unquote lifestyle change again. Because imagine you see Saturn, just chilling in the motel, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. Life is still good. Next thing you know, you see that juggler on an island somewhere, whoop-de-whoop, doing this. But not even, but just like, or you see him in this condo or at this place or doing that. This is very real shit. Now, it's just saying, imagine being able to go, oh, this nigga, when he left home, when I left home, because, when I was given the ultimatum, shit, I might have had like $200 as well. But then within the span of 3 days, I was able to manifest another 300. I pawned some shit. So really, I kind of, let's just say I left home with like maybe $400, $500, and been paying for hotels and shit myself ever since then, with actually very little effort. Now that I think about it, so I've been, without even really trying, I've been manifesting. But it's just like, now it's like, okay, it's time to take it to the next level. You hear what I mean? It's just like, this is where you are. This is where you were. And I can feel the universe myself included. It's just like, hey man, it's time to step it up. You're being prepped for this, but in order for you to be in alignment with that 100 grand crystallizing or whatever, there are certain aspects of you that need to come to the forefront, because those aspects of you are the magnets for those things.
Mm-hmm.
Such as the ability to be patient to the end. The ability to don't think about some shit. It's really weird. Don't think about it, just know. And if you don't just know, then don't think, just do nothing, because it'll come to you. To really rely on my sense of knowing, as opposed to, because my whole life, let's be real, like I'm a strategic dude. That's how I think. I'm always analyzing, absorbing. So my biggest challenge is being able to take that analyzation and push it to the back and just go, there's nothing to analyze. It's just the truth. Mm-hmm. Don't think about just a tree. That's it, tree. Even with myself, don't even analyze. It's just, I'm here, that's it. That's all there is to it. See, it's that simple. A lot of people get caught up. They're confused about, oh, what is life? What is this? What is that? I'm just like, well, no, it's that. They're like, what do you mean? I'm just like, see, the other day I was in a meditation and I saw my soul. And when I saw my soul, I was like, oh, I got it. And somebody's like, no, explain. I'm just like, it's that. They're like, no, what do you mean? I'm like, you see this? That's it. And they're like, well, there's nothing there. I'm like, exactly. That's it. That's the answer. Don't ask me how I know. I just know now. Like I was in a meditation and then suddenly I'm in this plane, this field where I know it's my mind. And then I'm just sitting there. And then I just had a thought, I want to see myself. And when I looked at myself, I didn't see anything, but I saw everything, but I didn't see anything. And then that's when I was like, oh, I get it. It's just that. But as beings, we'll ask ourselves questions. We're like, because we're judging. We're going, but we're comparing, well, what about this, and that? And then that process over complication. I simplified it naturally to the point where it's just like, it literally got back to that I just am. So if somebody were to go, well, what happened before? I'm like, well, there was no before. You're just here.
Just now.
Like, what happened after? I'm like, there's no after. I'm like, people, you're just here. It's really that simple. You're here. And then they go, but what? No. All there is here and now. You're just doing different shit within here and now. And you're going, that was the past and that's the future. Sorry to bust your bubble. You're just doing the same thing. You're just doing different shit in the same moment. And then you're just measuring it. So that's what we're doing. We're just laying measurement on a chain of events that are all happening within the same moment. But you go, oh, because I'm no longer doing this, that's the past. Mm-hmm. When it's just like, no, you're just not doing it.
Right.
You're doing something else. Like I'm explaining it the best way I can, but I know because it's a feeling. Even in the Emerald Tablets, that nigga Thoth said the highest knowledges are unutterable. You just know. So I recognize that because of how my path is set up, not comparing my path to other people, because you have some people, they'll get their hands on a whole lot of money, but they still have a lot of spiritual work to do. but they were able to master something. They focused so hard that they got good at that one thing, and they were able to trap the fuck out of that one thing. So kudos to them. That's a part of their path. See, we'll look at somebody, there's another 20-year, I see him on YouTube. There's this 20-year-old that is a millionaire. He's bought like 9 cars. I know he has. I believe, I'm watching it. People, you have people because they hate or whatever. They'll go, oh, he's renting those. He's doing this. I'm like, well, I mean, how many 20-year-olds have the money to even rent the cars he's renting? I'm like, this is just,
right.
or I'm like, let's be real. I'm like, the nigga's 20. It's hard to rent cars when you're 20, to be quite frank. I tried to do it. I was able to, I'm 22, and they were giving, I had to use I was like, I can't just pay cash. They were like, no, credit card. I was like, why? I was like, why can't you just take a deposit? And I just, anyway.
We need this just in case.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck are you? But even with all that, I'm like, no, this dude tuned in to a specific frequency and he manifested this. So yeah, he has this 500,000, whatever, because that's just his energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something outside of him. That's just his energy that he found a portal with his job or his work or whatever. He found a portal that works for him, for his energy to come through, to convert from this form to the next form. That's all that happened. But he has other things he needs to work on. I listened to him speak. The dude's bloated as fuck. Mucusy as hell. Got to work on that. He eats out a lot. You know how when he makes a shit ton of money, so it's not hard to just pay for food.
Just buy some shit. Yeah.
Just buy some shit.
Convenience.
He's mucusy as fuck. You know what I mean? Having women issues, baby mama issues, this, that, and the 4. You know what I mean? There's other shit.
Yeah.
That's a part of his path. So I've embraced my path, and I don't compare my path to other people's path. I use other people's paths as point of references as motivation for my path. Mm-hmm. Anytime you talk about something good or whatever, I don't feel like I have to downplay what you're doing or overshadow it with something. Well, this happened to me. It's just like, oh no, I'm happy that you go, oh bro, I'm about to buy this RV. Well, I'm about to buy this mansion. And no, you know what I'm talking. I'm sure you've had friends
I know what you mean,
that
bro.
do that. They can't just be happy for you. Yeah. I'm just like, when you go, oh, I'm about to, just because you're doing that doesn't mean I'm not doing something. Like that insecurity. When you go, nigga, when you buy that RV, I'll be like, okay, how'd you do it? What was the process? When if I decide to go get mine, I'd be like, oh, cool. I got a boy that went and bought one. Come with me to this dealership right quick. You know what I mean? I know the RV expert. Like, but that people,
crabs in the barrel.
People are so busy comparing themselves to other people when they just aren't focusing on their path. And I recognize for me, in order for me to get to my next level, I have to make sure I have to get my energy and my spiritual gnosis has to be intact. And everything from my life, everything else is manifestation of where it is I am in my rhythm and in my spirit. So I'm not someone that can go, oh, let me focus on money. That doesn't work for me. That never works for me. Actually, which is funny for me, the less I focus on something, the better it works out for me. Because I'm someone that really likes to focus in on shit. So as a result, it's flipped for me. I have to do something else. I have to do the opposite in order to get what I want. Don't think about it, because I love the fucking thing.
Right.
And I recognize that. It's so fucking hilarious. I'm like, yo, what? Why? It's like but that's a part of the game we set up for ourselves. It's like, oh, if you want this, you have to conquer yourself.
Exactly.
My last point, I'm gonna wrap it up on this and then hand it back to you, is that I recognize that there's a difference between obsession and focus. Obsession is full of resistance. And with obsession, you burn yourself out. When you obsess over something, you're not getting everything out of you. You're forcing some shit. To be focused and to be obsessed are two different things. Focus is quieting the noise. See, people, if you want to be able to manifest, a part of manifestation is you have to quiet what it is you're ingested, because what you're witnessing is what you're giving energy towards manifesting within reason. So stop spending all day on social media. Stop doing these things. Like, stop listening. Maybe don't talk to people all damn day. Go a week without talking to any of your friends. All they want to do is call you to talk about some shit that they don't like and what's going on. And they ain't got shit to do with you. You know what I mean? Like, and then when you quiet all that shit, you take back your conscious focus energy. Why do you think they're trying to distract us with crates and this and that and forth? So when you take back that energy, when you cut off those, you got to think about it as where you put your focus. Almost, let's look at it like as like an investment or a business. But your energy, you are the cash flow. Your energy is the cash flow. So Instagram is an entity under you, and you are the cash flow that is pouring into Instagram. This is real shit. Instagram would not be making no profit if the cash flow that is your consciousness was not being poured into it. But that's capital you could be using. So what happens when you cut off? Okay, you're not gonna get that focus, because that amount of that focus, that energy, I can take that and beam that towards some shit that I want. So I had to go, okay. And I told it to you. This is the talk we had. I'm just like, okay, bro, I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna talk to this person. I'm not gonna talk to mom, nobody. I really want to be able to quiet the noise and focus in on what it is I need to focus on. Not obsess, but just eliminate distractions. Because we always think we're missing out on some shit. You're not missing out on shit. People are like, oh no, if I'm not there, I'm missing. Let's be real. You want to go hang out with your friends, or you don't want to miss out on your friends. Ain't knowing shit. They just wasting time too. They just bullshitting too. They just want you to come waste time with them. You're not missing out on that. They're always doing that. So what? You miss 3 hangouts. I guarantee you go hang out again, you're gonna be doing the same shit. So like, we gotta. I said everything I needed to say.
That was, honestly, bro, we could wrap it up on that, because that was beautiful. Ashe to all of that shit, because the one thing I do want to say is, like, the image that kept popping into my mind. Do you remember the Disney Hercules movie where he jumps into like the pool of fate at the end to go save the damsel in distress? But it's like like that's exactly how like manifestation works. Like, he had to give up his life, right, in order to obtain immortality. You know what I'm saying? He had to let everything go. There's something about just throwing your hands up, right? And just being like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where the Jesus take the wheel thing comes from. You know what I'm saying? to be real, is like, because like that's where I am in this business, right? Where my business, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that like I'm not pushing it. Like, it was like I went through this 2-week phase where I felt like I had to advertise it to let people know about it. But and then it's like after that, like that was it. That's all I had to do. Like, now I just gotta let it simmer. You know what I'm saying? This is a slow broil. You know what I'm saying? This is a crock pot. This ain't a motherfucking frying pan. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta let it compound as it will. You know what I'm saying? And the blessings are gonna be waiting for me when the time is right. And the blessings have already still been coming in. They just, like I said, now it's health abundance. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just wealth. You know what I'm saying?
That's where you need to focus right now.
Exactly.
When you realize that most of the time, when people are trying, I know you worked in a place when people are doing more work than they actually need to do. Sometimes when they're at work, they just need to look busy. They're like, just look busy. It's like, well, that's a waste of fucking time.
That's what I'm saying.
You're on the clock. Well, you really, let's say you're there for 8 hours. You maybe only needed to do about 3 hours worth of work. But now you need to look busy So, because it's still like, you're like, hey boss, I sent out that email. I'm checking. How many times you done checked your emails? Like how many, when you realize that a lot of shit actually doesn't take as much work as we think it does, but you're just bullshitting because you think you need to be working hard.
Shit.
Do you even really need to work out every day? Hell no. No, you don't. Now, there's something that you could do to be healthy every day, but a full-blown bang out workout every fucking day is counterproductive. Push, pull, push, pull. You can't always push, you can't always pull. It's a dance between the two.
Exactly. Gotta find that flow. We gotta find that balance.
That rhythm.
Mm-hmm. The eternal dance with the cosmic intelligence, bro.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking about the other day. I was just like, you need to. I didn't say that. I was like, you know what? See this fucking pandemic. When I'm trying to pandemic, now I'm trying to incorporate shit, and it's just like, oh, everybody want to wear a mask. I was like, you know what? I want to kind of learn how to salsa dance, learn how to cha-cha. I'm not even fucking around. Like I'm so serious. I was like, you know what? This is something that I never thought I would do. So let me do it. And if I don't like it, I can fucking stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go take a cha-cha class. I'm gonna take a salsa class. Go tap into that chaos. Fucking, you know what I mean? Just feel good.
Yeah.
Just don't think of it, just feel good. And it's shit like that shit. Jokers probably might walk by my window, see me cha-cha. I might how to cha-cha on YouTube. Fuck it. Just 1 step, 2 step. I might every day when I wake up, I might do that. I might cha-cha in the morning. Maybe I don't feel like doing, maybe I'm fucking bored with Qigong. Maybe I don't feel like doing no Qigong and Tai Chi. What can I do? You know what? Today, we salsa. And just do that for like 20 minutes. Just feel good type shit.
Bro, fun fact. I used to fuck around with some salsa dancing. I danced in a quinceañera, as a matter of fact. Yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like just through learning salsa, right? Like I met a bunch of people who ended up being like lifelong homies. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, there's something like you just gotta tap into. It's like what I told you about martial arts. I did martial arts when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like there's something pulling me back to like, yo, just do that shit. Like do that random shit. Just enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to fucking get a farming book, get a fucking contracting book. You know what I'm saying? Go find some place to salsa dance. You know what I'm saying? Go join a Muay Thai gym or some shit. You don't like it? Leave that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know what I mean? Like that's the vibe I'm on right now.
You really do like with contractors, just managing operations. I didn't know what a contractor was until I started watching like a lot of house building. I've been watching more self-help. People who have never, you can't tell me these people who have never built a house before, build a house, make it work, and I can't do it. Come on now. Like
that video with the dude who had 400 acres.
And that shit was beautiful.
One of the most beautiful things.
Happiest. That man was 80 years old, 70, I think, whatever, 70 years old or whatever, like a kid. I couldn't tell a difference between him and a 10-year-old other than the fact that he had a 70-year-old vessel. The happiest fucking dude. I was like, built everything. Everything he built. Own food. And his setup looked nice. Some of the nice redwood, talking about the trees. So that was so fascinating how you had this giant ass redwood, the antennas. And he said, yeah, they cut it down, but then 5 more grew on top of it.
Yep.
And then he said, oh, if we just cut down these 4 trees, this one tree will, within 50 years, be the size of the original tree. I was like, you can't destroy nature. You can't. You can't destroy it. See, the fact that they've even made us think you can't beat nature. That's like nature is existence. You can't. People like the other day, this hermano on a live I did, just a late night live. I didn't post it or nothing. He said nature's suffering. I didn't go against it. I just let him talk because I don't need to debate with you. But I was like, in my head, I was just like, she's not suffering. And we're suffering. Nature's good. Nature was here before us, and nature will be here after us. The fact that the ego on people, they think nature blinks at us. All she has to do is turn around, and this shit is over. like
if the earth stops spinning literally for 3 seconds, everybody's dead.
And we're that, you know, this shit ain't spinning, but you know what I mean. Like this shit.
I know.
But yeah, if Mother Nature just farts, it's over. We're wiped out. We underwater. So nature ain't weeping at us or none of that. Like
nature is warning us, being like, y'all killing yourselves, you dumb motherfuckers. You kill these fish, y'all gotta eat these fish.
Yeah,
poison these lands.
Trees.
Y'all gotta live on these lands. Like, I'll be good in 100, 200 years. You know what I'm saying? 300 years. It don't matter. I'll clean this shit up. I'll put it all in the dirt. Mushrooms will come and eat it. Like, it'll be good. You know what I'm saying?
Looking at the fucking, even when you found out that the whole thing about the nuclear waste thing and how mushrooms cleaned up nuclear waste, because then mushrooms are natural transmuters of energy. So you're telling me if we had a nuclear meltdown, all we'd have to do is fly over that bitch, sprinkle spores, and within 50 years, this shit is cleaned up because the mushrooms will then convert it into energy you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, nature's fine. We just need to, don't think about no nature. We just need to get ourselves together. Look at nature as the teacher.
Yeah.
Nature, nobody said you had to save nature. Nature has been here and nature will still be here.
Mm-hmm.
No, what's up with this nature save a whole shit? No, nature learn from a whole shit. What the
facts?
Learn from some nature. Goddamn.
Nah, I feel you, man. I feel you. But yo, dog, I got a 111. I think that's a good time to wrap it up, bro. That's a good time to wrap it up. Yo, but thanks for tuning in, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Mucho love, mucho apreciado. You know what I'm saying? We go come back at y'all, not live, but record it very soon.
Or not.
Or not.